for restoration. What do you think about that? Do you think that's pretty glorious? There's nothing that he cannot do, even when you lose grip. So often we think it all depends on me holding on to God. But there are times in our lives where we just lose grip. Do you think Father leaves us? Or do you think he's started the work which he promised? He who started that good thing within me is going to complete it. I want you to just put your hand on me for me and say, he who started this good work in me, I'm going to say it because it's prophetic. He's going to complete this work in me. Say it to me. He is going to complete this work in me. It's not me who's going to do it. He's going to do it. He promised me. He made a covenant with me forever. And sometimes the losing grip is the beginning of something wonderful, powerful, and great. God wants to meet your needs today. He's serious about this. He's serious about you. He's serious about your heart. He's serious about the call that's on your life. He's serious about it. And he is able to perform it. What do you think? Do you think that's okay? Do you think that's biblical? This death on the cross, we say, well, it all finished at the death of the cross. But in a way, it did finish. But death finished. When did life begin? Life began when Jesus was resurrected. And it's called resurrection life. Now I'm going to throw this out there today. Resurrection life, come forth. Come forth. Come forth. Everything else is a mere shadow of resurrection life. It may have finished at the cross. Death finished at the cross. But we don't talk enough about what happened at the resurrection, because life came forth, which gave me hope. Jesus is the hope of the world. His resurrection, the resurrection life, substance of Christ. Just push this on you today. There is a room full of resurrection life in here. Just take some of it. Take some out of the atmosphere and just drop it on your head. Just let it get on you. Let it get on you. We need our hearts broken down, our walls pulled down, our coldness pulled out of us, our dictatorship personalities pulled out of us. You're not a dictator. He's the dictator. If you're going to exhort in love and live the true life of love, then I will use you, says God. Because he's the judge and he's the jury. We're now going to just sing the Holy of Holies, Corinne. And we are going to then do communion. But I want you to just not start doing, because God is encountering us now. He's encountering you now. So let's let him finish the job today. Let's not now get all efficient and start taking over with our little hats on. And let's allow God to finish this encounter today. And if you want to sing, sing. And if you want to listen, listen. And let's see what God does as we take communion. And Shannon's coming up to bring communion.
For your righteousness, and it's only found Just going to obviously talk about communion, but when I was praying, I felt that to actually read from Matthew chapter 22, verse 1 to 14. And in general, when we read about the Last Supper and we think about it, we sort of remember it as a scripture about Jesus to be in remembrance of him and for the salvation he's given us and the grace and love and mercy and what was done at the cross. But we also look at the Last Supper and see it as a celebration, really. When you sort of maybe think of it to mind, you might think of the disciples all being together, and it's really like a supper, like a celebratory thing. And it is a celebration in our own personal lives too, of course. When we think of not just what Jesus did at that moment, but what it means for now in our own personal lives and forever and for eternity. So I'm going to read from there, and I'm actually going to read from the marriage of the king's son. I think it's also known as the parable of the wedding banquet, but this is in Matthew, and it made me think of that, about how God calls us in to eat with him, to be with him. And Jesus answered and spoke to them again by parables and said, "The kingdom of heaven is like a certain king who arranged a marriage for his son and sent out his servants to call those who were invited to the wedding, and they were not willing to come. Again, he sent out other servants, saying, 'Tell those who are invited, see, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and fatted calf are killed, and all the things are ready. Come to the wedding.' But they made light of it and went their ways, one to his own farm, another to his business. And the rest seized his servants, treated them spitefully, and killed them. But when the king heard about it, he was furious, and he sent out his armies, destroyed those murderers, and burnt up their city. Then he said to his servants, 'The wedding is ready, but those who were invited were not worthy. Therefore go into the highways, find as many as you find, invite them to the wedding.' So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all whom they found, both bad and good. And the wedding hall was filled with guests. But when the king came in to see the guests, he saw a man there who did not have on a wedding garment. So he said to him, 'Friend, how did you come in here without a wedding garment?' And he was speechless. Then the king said to the servants, 'Bind him hand and foot, take him away, cast him into the outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen.'" And what I was really feeling when I read that is that God has made a way for all of us. All the preparation is done, the whole full price is paid. And we see that many are unwilling to come, many hear the invitation but they choose not to come. But we also see many are willing to come to God, but even then they're only willing to come to God in their own terms and their own conditions. They're not willing to place God as their God. They know God, but they're not willing to make God their God. And if you do that, if you don't come to God as yourself and be honest and be humble and let God change you, then, and if you keep holding on to old things, that is sort of idolatry. It's not putting God first. And there's not really many people that are willing to do that. But if you're just willing and you just be honest to God, he brought the good and the bad. God is there for everyone. So really it is about your willingness and your decision and your faith to come. That's why few are chosen, because few are willing to come. But it's so easy, you just have to want to. And that's really what I felt. And I feel like God saying, just let him mould you. You don't need to try, just be willing, just come to him. He'll change you. You don't need to try on your own, because really if you're trying on your own, you're not putting God first. And that's all I have to say. So let's all come to the table and eat and drink and be glad that what God has done.